All right, let's talk about how a minor mistake nearly cost me hundreds of dollars. That's just my really stupid Kendrick Lamar tie-in, but I've been listening to a lot of Kendrick lately, and that's just the way it goes. Okay, so here we have the markets dropping, right? These troll markets have been god-awful for the most part, right? We could pretty much all agree on that. That is just a mess. This market has absolutely no idea what it wants to do. It's literally all over the place. And, we've had tariffs, we've had DeepSeek, we've had a number of different things. So the market has no clue what it wants to do. By this day, the market decided it was going to drop. So I take a look at it, and I add an ask, a sell placed right here at the top of this flag, right? It drops down. I gated the first 15 minutes, right at the top. Actually, at the top and the bottom, right? But ultimately, gated the first 15 minutes, and the market drops down. The EMA starts to pull out, and then from there, I'm like, okay, well, let's go ahead and try to get in on this with a flag developing, which is really good. Right now in these markets, I am looking for flags to develop before I get in. In the past, I'd allowed the EMA to come down, flash, in this case green, and then enter in on the next pullback near like 1/3 from, I guess, would be the top of the green candle in this case. If you are right here, no longer. These markets are reversing. They are all over the place. And like I said, these Trump markets are awful for right now. Hopefully that'll change, but it's just been terrible. Before Trump was in office, these markets were stable and consistent. Now they are literally all over the place, and they're a mess. But anyway, has anyone else noticed how toward the end of the market, they pump it and then they dump it? Watch for that. The last 5 minutes of the SPY lately, you see the markets rip up and then jump almost immediately, which is interesting. And they'll rip up and they'll close, so that way they can say that they closed while they're up, and then they'll just drop everything, or they'll drop what they've gained as soon as, like, right after the markets close, just so that way they could say that it closed up. What a joke. Anyway, yeah, so it's been a mess, but nevertheless, going into this drops down, the flag develops, and I'm looking to get in right here, and I wait just a little too long, right? Boom. That hole. Had I had that so order placed just a little bit lower, I would have caught it, and I would have had this flush, and that would have been beautiful right here. But I don't get it. I mean, you see over here, it really flushed out. That doesn't happen. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, how am I going to get into this market? So I started looking at a number of different things. One are Fibonacci levels. One thing that I've noticed is in the past, as this market has dropped, it's been pulling back to the 20-year EMA quite a bit. And it's also, look at the ATR on this thing. It's like $1.09, right? If I was to put my loss, that'd be a $2 loss if I doubled it in the opposite direction, right? Or $2 like difference in the opposite direction. So like up to like what 60 went down here around what 603, right? And so that'd be up around 605 on a futures trade. That'd be a lot of money to lose just to find out if you're right. So right now this market literally is all over the place. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, and that's everything else again, as it has been since Trump's taken office. Nothing has been very clear in these markets, right? Ultimately, you have a flag here, and you have all this mess right here, and then it comes down here, and it's starting to come back up. I mean, it's so interesting how this really just reflects pretty much the instability of the market is the instability of the economy, is the instability and the chaos of the person who's in charge at the moment. And hopefully that will change. Believe me, as trade, I'm absolutely hoping it will, but we need some sort of consistency, right? But you're just not getting it. Right now, you have this over here, this flag. We're so scared that we're down here, that we're up, that we're down, that we're up, that we're down, that we're right. These are huge movements, right? Then it starts to break down again, retesting the bottom. I'm thinking to myself, I'm not getting in down here. On the 1 hour chart, if you did the Fibonacci pullback, the gold zone ends up being right here, right back to where we are. And had I gotten in right here, this would have been a mess, because what's going to happen is that this market is going to pull up right there. And so at this point, I went ahead and put an order in. This is still too early. This is still too early to get in. You would still want to see a flag develop. But, you know, and in this case, I got in. I probably should have waited a little bit. And that could have been a major problem. Except in this case, it's going up, it's going up, it's going up. And there it starts to go. And now it flushes down. Right? Are starting to flush down, but there's the flag. And again, you really want to wait for these flags to develop. I would have been better off waiting, even if I saw the Fibonacci pull back to the gozo, which I ended up drawing a line on. I would have been better off waiting and taking this on the side of the flag, essentially would be the north side of the flag, in order to look for a profit coming down in this direction. If I felt as though this could possibly come back down, we've only been seeing it go up. It's 20 EMA or even go above it and they come back down, which tends to be around that gold zone in that Fibonacci bubble. I should have just waited, right? Because ultimately, it just kind of kept going up. And then we're still it's come down a little bit, right? The ATR, we're still at 78 cents. This still could have kept going up and, you know, maybe gotten up into this level and then came back down. Who knows? Like I said, these markets are extremely unstable and chaotic. So, in this case, it comes down. Now, I could have just gotten out right there. See, that I'd have been smart. I was just taking it here in hindsight and then gotten out somewhere around there. But I was fortunate. There we go. It starts to go. Now, I was not looking for the full movement. I had it getting out down here, which is going to be around here on the SPY. And that was important to me because I do not trust these markets at all. They are the way all over the place. I felt as though we could possibly retrace this down to where the rejection was here. I was knocked off it where I get down here. Oh, I think eventually we do. And I know, but before profit. And it works out. Now, I did this on the Combine. I did not do this on my funding account because the account where I'm actually making money on it. There's absolutely no way I was going to do that. You know, with Combines are $50. It's not the end of the world to get blown up. But it's something where I already have, you know, a funding account. I wasn't about to play around with this at all. I want to see a flag develop, get in on it, you know, and then go in the direction of the market of the flag. I felt a lot safer on that than doing something like this. So, again, you know, this pullback, I felt pretty good about it. Had I waited for the flag pilot, it felt better. I felt pretty good about it coming back as the Fibonacci level had it at the gold zone, which is what you want, or what I wanted at least, in order to enter the trade. Still, what's the lesson? The lesson on this is to wait. You know, I think this, before, it was pretty stable. It was pretty steady. There wasn't all this chaos going on. But like I said, ever since you've had the election with Trump, the markets had been all over the place, as he's been all over the place on what he's doing. And, you know, the markets are constantly trying to adjust. And so it's just been a mess almost every single day with very little consistency in the markets or anything that's at least clear, right? So keep that in mind. And right now, the markets are just stalled. They're stalled around the 602, 605 and just kind of hanging out here. And, so there's that. But really just waiting for these flags to develop is my strategy moving forward. I've been burned too many times on stuff that used to work that no longer does. Just wait for the flag. you know, maybe wait for the 20 EMA even to pull up a little bit further, then get in and get out at the retest of whatever the low would be, right? And even again, right here, we would have seen this. Right there, again, there's a flag that starts to develop. There it is, back and forth, you get on it there, and then boom, you know, and even so, you could have gotten on it here and put your stop up here, which would have been totally fine. And if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. And that's how it goes. That is about it for this one. So again, yes, I did get a profit on the combine. Sure, it was what, $625, you know. But again, you just really gotta wait for these flags to develop. You know, at least I'm waiting for the flags to develop before I get it on anything. So this is the brand new channel. If you guys like this, please feel free to like and subscribe. Also, make sure to check out my Substack where I have a little bit more over there. Thank you so much for watching this, and I will see you next time.